Welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode. Today, we're going to talk all about the homeopathic remedy Pulsatilla, one of my favorite remedies. I prescribe it so often in acute and chronic conditions. It's a great remedy that can bring balance to the system and supports so many acute and chronic conditions. Today I'm going to talk to you about what the picture or the symptom picture or the frequency, energy, and vibration of what a pulsatilla would look like. So let's see. Pulsatilla is usually a soft, timid person. They can be easily influenced and very dependent patients, dependent on the people they love, dependent on their practitioners. They depend on people. They are very open and share willingly, and they are malleable. So basically, meaning they are easily shaped. You can kind of convince them what to do. Easily influenced, right? They weep easily, and often, they're crying at a commercial or this or that. They're very hormonal, so they weep very easily. Often, they weep when they tell their problems. They also have very changeable moods and changeable symptoms. So a pulsatilla is going to have pain that comes and goes, pain that wanders. One day it's this symptom, the next day it's this symptom, right? So they're very, very changeable symptoms. They can feel abandoned. They can have a feeling of abandonment. They can feel insecure in their relationships. They'll ask the people around them, do you love me? Do you love me? Hey, hon, do you love me? The kids will ask their parents, do you love me? They can be irritable and worse before menses. It's a very hormonal remedy. So before the menstruation, they can be more irritable, have PMS, and have worse symptoms. They can also be children who want to sleep with their parents. They desire company and want to be with the people that love them. They're very dependent, right? So they want to be around people that can support them. They are usually very warm-blooded people, and they're worse from heat. So sometimes they can be chilly, but they're usually always worse from heat. So they're worse in a warm room. So they're worse in a car with the heat on, or sitting in a sauna, or worse on a hot, sunny summer day. They don't like that. But they're better in open air. So they like and ameliorated by being out in open air. But if it's too hot or the sun can aggravate their symptoms. But they are better walking slowly in open air. Actually, is the specific symptom. They like to walk slowly in open air. And actually, the only other remedy that I know that does that is Ferrum. Also likes to walk slowly in open air. They can have, sorry, Teddy barking. They can have one-sided perspiration. They can have chills before their menses. They can have headaches at the end of their menses. So this is when they often will get sorry, they will get headaches at the end of their menses. They can have allergies and hay fever. They often also will have, with the hay fever or allergies, they will have bland and greenish discharges. They can get conjunctivitis. Often, that's a very common acute symptom that I treat with Pulsatilla. Doesn't mean that we should always go with this remedy. There's lots of remedies for conjunctivitis, but they also can have itching and watery eyes, pain in the eyes, and they're better with cold applications. Pulsatilla happens to be better with cold, worse with heat, better with cold in general. They can have chronic and acute otitis media, which is ear infections. In fact, this was the remedy that was been really supportive for my son's ear infections, which are not chronic, but they keep acutely coming back. So it is kind of like a chronic situation, actually. But Pulsatilla has been the remedy that's been most supportive for it. They can have discharges from the ear, and the ear can feel stopped during this. They like butter, cream, whipped cream, cheese, ice cream, sweets, cold foods, peanut butter, hard-boiled eggs. They like creamy foods. Creamy is a thing, but they are averse to fat, and usually pork is usually an aggravation as well. They can have abdominal distension, which is bloating, and they are typically thirstless in acute situations or in chronic situations. So they don't really have a strong desire for water. And they can have bladder infections with bladder pain at the end of urination, worse, retention of urine. They can have involuntary urination, worse with coughing or sneezing. They can have prostatitis. They are, can have worse things on the left side. Yeah, and they can have menses or menstruations that is too early or suppressed, so amenorrhea, which means you've lost your period. They also have menses that are menstruation that is a short duration. They can be irregular, and the change of flow can change. Pulsatilla is a very changeable remedy, so it can change, right? 1 month it looks like this, the menses, 1 month it looks like this, and the next month it looks like that. It's not consistent. Things are always changing. Even like the stool can always be changing. Every stool looks different, right? They can have endometriosis, they can have uterine prolapse as well, they can have dysmenorrhea, painful periods, they can have asthma, they can have wandering arthritis, so they can have pains that wander throughout the body, that are worse first motion, but better as they move along, which is similar to Roostox. They can have pains in the hips and the knees. They actually have this symptom where they're cold at night, but then they get warm and they want to stick their feet out of the covers. So they stick their feet out of the covers. Pulsatilla sleeps with their on their back with their hands above their head, or they like to sleep on their abdomen. And they can be disturbed by songs always running in their heads. So that's the picture of Pulsatilla. I've given you a lot of different ones, different symptoms that Pulsatilla can have. Pulsatilla is a great remedy for acute and chronics. I often treat flus, I treat colds, conjunctivitis, ear infections, hormonal menstrual issues, really can all be supported with Pulsatilla. Now, remember, you never want to just self-diagnose, especially with higher potencies. You should really meet with a trained professional to help you get the right remedy that matches you and your individual case. You want to make sure that you're treating the person on the physical, mental, and emotional sphere, and also that you are, or supporting, I should say, and that you meet with a trained professional to make sure that you get the right potency, the right dosing, the right frequency, and to make sure that you get the right remedy, because you may have a Pulsatilla layer, but maybe that's not the most important layer for you to be working on at this time, and there's another layer that we need to work on. So we want to always make sure that we're getting the right remedy at the right time for the right situation. So I always do recommend meeting with a trained professional. You can, of course, reach out to me at contact@brightlightwellnesscoach.com. That's my email, or you can catch me on my website, brightlightwellnesscoach.com. And I'm more than happy to support you with acute and chronic health conditions. You can also check out my homeopathy courses, which I have many courses to support health and healing. I have one for flus. I have one for ear infections, first aid care, and also UTIs. And Pulsatilla is covered in most, and 2 of those for sure, actually 3 of those. And I'm also working on a course right now currently for homeopathy for women's health, and then a course for homeopathy for common children health issues. So you can, get support there as well. So check out those courses and look for the coming new ones. And yeah, looking forward to supporting your health. You can reach me in the comments too as well. Let me know what other remedies you want me to talk about, what other things about homeopathy you want to know, what questions do you have? And yeah, looking forward to supporting your health. Have an awesome day.